Hello travelers! With Palia releasing on the Nintendo Switch, I thought it was a good idea to make a video about all the things you can do in Palia when you feel like you have nothing left to achieve, because there's actually quite a lot to do. The world of Palia's in-game days don't match IRL days, so we're going to start with things you can do every in-game day. And we'll start with the Underground, a secret location that houses Zeki and items you can't find anywhere else, including things like bathtubs, toilets, rugs, and various wall decor. These items will change depending on what server you're on, and every night that the market reloads. The market becomes available at 6 p.m. in-game. The other item the market has is the cash register, which holds items you can't get anywhere else, and especially the lucky coin, which is 10 grand, but the only way to get items from Zeki's lucky gotcha machine. The Underground is also where you're going to find Reth. If you're looking for him and he's not on the map, he's probably manning the bar downstairs. Just remember that the Underground market closes at exactly 3 a.m. So grab the items you see while you want them, or you'll have to wait for the market to reset and come back another night. The Underground doesn't kick you out though, and there are things accessible during the day like the arcade machines and the tower, which is the in-game obstacle course. The next thing that happens every in-game day happens at midnight in Bahari Bay. This is the Flow Tree Groves. Generally speaking, you can just hang out in Bahari until someone calls out that they've found it and make your way there, either by fast traveling or just walking across the map. Flow tree groves are a way to access flow trees in one location where everyone can work together to cut them down. Generally speaking, the Palia community is really sweet. All you have to do is tell them that you're on their way and they'll wait for you to get there. Just tap each tree once and wait for everybody to be done tapping each tree. Somebody normally counts them, but always make sure you look down on the ground and up on the high cliffs because the trees can hide. Once you're done hitting the trees, just take a seat and wait for everybody to be ready to work together to chop them down and claim your loot. It's important to note that certain larger flow trees do require an upgraded axe to be able to hit them, but that doesn't mean you shouldn't check out the groves. If a tiny tree is available and you have the first axe upgrade, you can still hit that one. So if you're nearby, it's definitely worth coming around. The next thing that's going to happen every in-game day is gardening. Your garden is going to reset at 6 a.m. in-game. So once you're done checking out the grove and spending some time at the Underground, make sure you run home, harvest your garden, replant, and water before 6 a.m. happens. That way you can reset it and go on with your day. Your garden won't grow if you don't water it, and it also won't grow if you're not logged in. But as long as you're playing in the game, the garden will reset at 6 a.m. whether you're home or not. So if you don't happen to be home at exactly 6 a.m., you can always run back later. Something else that happens at 6 a.m. is your mail arriving, and your shipping bin will sell. But mail arrives at 6 p.m. as well, and your shipping bin sells again at 6 p.m. too. The last in-game daily thing you can do is talk to each NPC. You can only do this once in the in-game day, but it's really helpful for raising your friendship. And you can tell if you've spoken to them by checking your friendship menu. There'll be a little blue icon that lets you know you've talked to that villager today. This next set of items are all things that you can do once every IRL day, and the reset for these are currently at 8 p.m. Pacific. Starting with gifting to NPCs. You can only gift to an NPC once every IRL day, and they only accept that type of gift once per week, generally speaking. But a little lesser known fact is you don't have to gift them things on their liked and loved menu. They do accept things outside of their weekly wants. Every NPC has a list of items they'll take regardless of whether it's on their weekly wants or not. Once you learn what those items are, it's a lot easier to gain friendship levels. And an easy go-to is their starstones. Most NPCs have a starstone, and they'll take it regardless of what their weekly wants are. But again, you can only give them one every week. Every IRL day, you can also get your Kitsuu. Now, you do have to finish the fire temple to have the Kitsuu, but once every day, the Kitsuu will appear in game, and once you scare it, unfortunately, it leaves behind some loot. And this can be anything from arrows to fur to even gold nuggets, which is great. And then there is the Zeki coin. As long as you buy one thing from Zeki's general store, doesn't matter what it is. If you want the cheapest option, you're going to go for salt. I go for cooking oil because I make a lot of dumplings. If you want something more practical, maybe an arrow or a smoke bomb. But as long as you buy one thing, Zeki will send you a lucky coin in the mail the next time the mail appears based off of when you bought it. So for example, I bought it at 3:30 in the morning, and at 6 a.m., it's going to arrive in my mailbox. I can then choose to take it to Zeki's and get a lucky gotcha coin box I can crack open to get special items, or I can save it and do them all in one go. Next is the Chapaa pile. It's actually called a rummage pile, but the majority of people call it the Chapaa pile because it looks like a chapaa nest. It's a pile of sticks, and once you locate it, you can interact with it to get various cool items. You can also just get things like fur and a singular potato, but right now the winter festival is going on, so you get cool winter stuff sometimes. And when the winter festival is not going on, you can get recipes and quest items. Chapaa piles spawn across Kilima. And when I say across Kilima, I mean in the locations I'm currently showing you. It's actually not that varied, which is nice because it makes it easy to find. Like the rest of the dailies, these are going to respawn IRL time at 8 p.m. Pacific as of right now. This next part is actually about weeklies. They're a little bit different, and you're not necessarily going to have access to all of these just yet. Weeklies become available once you reach level 10 in any given skill and can be located in the accomplishments menu at the top. It's a way to get extra medallions and spend them at their associated skill stores. You're gonna get medallions when you level up, but this is a way to get extras every week. I'm about to chop down my 10th tree and thus get an extra 30 medallions that I can spend at the foraging guild store. You can see which villager is associated to which skill in your main character menu by hovering over the skill itself. This is also where you see how many medallions you have. You'll probably be familiar with these stores because it's where you get access to recipes and upgrading your tools. But once you have access to the higher level items, you'll be able to use your medallions to buy really cool stuff, primarily decorative, but they're really, really pretty. Things like the Kilima koi pond, the forager's planter, and each skill has these amazing items associated. And some of the rewards are even interactable. But aside from that, you gain access to hard to find items by using your medallions to get them rather than having to search for them. And in a pickle, this can be really useful. Well, that's everything I have to tell you so far about what you can do in Palia when you feel like you don't have anything left to do. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you feel so inclined, give it a thumbs up, maybe subscribe, and I hope you have a very magical day.